Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network. Welcome back to the show. We are joined by our divorce diva. Yes, our certified divorce coach from Crown Coaching is Liesel Darby. She's joining us again to talk more about her work as a divorce coach and, of course, the benefits to someone out there who may be going through the process and need advice and support. And maybe today we'll discuss do's and don'ts of divorce and dating. That's what she told me. I think it's a great idea. How are you, hon?
I'm doing great.
Great. Well, please introduce yourself to everyone today before you get started.
Okay. Liesel Darby from Crown Coaching. I'm a certified divorce coach. I am certified in alternative dispute resolution, which means I help you keep the conflict to a minimum and help you really learn how to work effectively with it so that you don't get stuck as you go through divorce.
Yeah. Well, that's a process and a half. A lot of people do get stuck and go through so much. And just a little about your background and what, the work entails of someone who is like a divorce coach like yourself.
Okay, yeah. So when I work with my clients, one of the first things we do is I want to know what your values are so that I can help you stick to your values as you're going through divorce, making big decisions with a lot of times very big emotions. I don't want you to do anything that you're going to regret later. So I can always bring you back to make sure that you're in alignment with your core values. I help people to, again, to manage your emotions so that they're not getting in the way when you are going through the process and making these big life decisions. I can help you to figure out what you want your relationships to look like on the other side of divorce, especially if kids are involved and you're going to be co-parenting for like the rest of your life. Because we all
Yeah.
know that parenting doesn't start once the kids turn 18 and it doesn't stop.
Yep.
So what do you want that relationship to look like with your spouse for the kids' benefits mostly?
Beautiful. Well, thank you for being here, for joining us. And we're excited to get started to talk a little bit about divorce, dating, and bring us full circle. Go ahead. How does it all begin? When should we be dating? There's so many questions. I'll let you just take the reins.
I used to tell people don't date for about 2 years because that's really how long the grieving process takes, and you want to be ready to do this. And nobody wants to hear that, so I stopped saying that. So I had to tone that down a little bit. Like, what would actually be helpful? Because I know people get lonely, and I know that, especially if they've been in a rough situation for a while, one of the first things they want to do, some people, is they want to hit the ground running and see what else is out there. That's a natural thing. Some people want to just curl up in a ball on the couch for a while, and that's perfectly natural too. That's the route that I took uh, for a while. But anyway, I thought I'd talk about starting with what don't do. Let's start there. So one of the things I want to caution everybody is to do not post anything on
Mm.
social media that you wouldn't want anyone else to see. Because it can come back to haunt you when if you end up in court. Think like it, I know it's really common for people to be like, I'm going to show them. I'm going to be out here. I'm going to be having so much fun. Look at all this fun stuff I'm doing.
Oh
Sometimes that
gosh.
might involve have a little bit of fun drinks.
Alcohol.
It might involve being out with your friends doing yeah, doing some fun things that you might not reflect very well if your ex wants to paint you in a certain light. I want you to remember that anything that you post, even if you think you have privacy settings on, once you release it on social media, you do not have any control over it. People can take screenshots of things and post it to other people that you would never think, would have access to your stuff. You have to be very, very careful. And
Yeah.
my advice is until you are divorced and that is finalized, don't post anything. Just lie
Got
low.
it.
Just focus on yourself. Don't be trying to prove anything, even if
Yeah.
it's innocent, even if you're not trying to prove anything and you're just out having fun, living life. You don't know how things can be twisted. It just takes somebody to want to paint a certain picture of you in a certain way and have some pictures up here. Oh, the other thing too is do not post anything negative about your ex.
Oh, or
And
even those,
don't,
or even like random quotes about how life is so much better now when you leave the toxicity behind, or something like that. Because so many people do that, and I'm just like, really, I know exactly who that's about, and it's just like that. I
yeah.
think people do that as well. Well, I didn't say specifically, and I didn't, and it just comes across looking bad.
Yeah, you know that. So this is a
Oh,
time you really want
I
to
dropped my
keep your,
mouse. Do you mind giving me 1 sec? I dropped my
okay.
mouse. Go ahead, go ahead. I'm here. I'm still listening.
Uh, just assume that anything that you put out there can and will be used against you. Just assume that.
Yeah.
Okay. And you're right. Even putting out quotes, or I know sometimes a lot, like when people are getting away from a narcissistic partner, they'll start posting all kinds of things about narcissists. You don't want to do that. Please. I know sometimes the temptation is really strong. You know, you got some things you want to say. Do not put that on social media. If you need to go talk to a friend, do that. If you need to go talk to a therapist or somebody, just don't put it out there for the world to see and have it in print. Uh, because like I said, people take screenshots, people do all kinds of things. People, you don't know who people know who this can take on a life of its own. So just don't even put yourself in that situation. Do yourself a favor and just don't do the social media thing. Also, don't start don't look at your ex's social media either,
Oh, that's so
because
hard. Let's be
it's
honest.
never going to end well, right?
I know.
Let's say he's doing something fun with the kids. That's just going to make you feel bad because you know you're not there. Or heaven forbid, he's posting pictures of his new girlfriend, right?
Yeah.
That is not going to make you feel good in any way, shape, or form. And as we all, I call Facebook fake book, because people just they put things on there. It does not reflect reality at
I
all.
like
So
that
you
fake book. I'm sorry. I never heard that. I love it.
Oh yeah. Nobody is ever showing the pictures of them crying in the corner with their mascara flowing down their cheeks, right? It's all
No.
life is wonderful. I'm having the best time of my life. Look at this great person I'm with new. You know, this is my new person, la di da. Yeah, don't believe any of it. And you just it's just going to make you upset. So just don't look and see what's on their thing. The other thing is, let's say that you are starting to date somebody new, right? And you're posting some pictures on that. Let's say that up until this point, your ex has been behaving pretty okay. Like they're willing to negotiate with you. They're acting okay in mediation. Things are flowing. And now they see a picture of you with somebody new. That can trigger so many things. And I have been in so many situations where things were going fine until they find out that you're dating somebody, and then all hell just breaks loose. And now
Yep.
they don't want to cooperate. They start turning nasty. They start, making, oh, you've been having an affair this whole time. I mean, things can go south really, really fast. So save yourself some grief here. Just stay off of social media until it's all done.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Great advice. Great advice. Fake book. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. What else you have for us?
All righty. So I also want to caution people, please don't go and jump into a new relationship right away. Just, you need
Hmm.
time to heal. You really do. And I know nobody wants to hear this, but you really need to be able to be by yourself and be okay with that. No matter how long that takes. I mean, your position of power when you do start to go out to date is when you could care less if you meet anybody else or not, because you are so okay with being by yourself and the life that you've created without a partner in it, that anybody else who comes in is just a cherry on top. I always tell people, you need to be the cake. You need to be the full cake. And anybody who comes into your life has to be the frosting. They have to be bringing sweetness and light and joy. Otherwise, what's the point? So if once you're in this spot of being okay with being by yourself, you are truly in a powerful place, because now you're not desperate, right?
Yeah.
You're not, you're not, just I just have to have somebody because I'm so lonely. Listen, if you're so lonely, and I get it because I was lonely too. Most people get lonely, right? You're out of your element. It's icky, right? You're in the thick of the ick again. So that's what your girlfriends are for. That's what your guy friends are for. That's what, go hang out with your family. Find a hobby, do something
Yeah.
else. There's lots of other people you can hang out with I mean, I tell you what, the best friends I have right now, I got after I was divorced because when I was married, we did couples stuff. Like I didn't have single girlfriends; they were all couples. That changed once we got our divorce, but now I just found some fabulous, I call them my
Yeah.
girlies. If I want to go out to dinner, that's who I call. If I want to go to a movie, we'll do that. We go dancing. We just hang out and have pizza and watch movies. It's like
Oh.
dating a best friend, but without all that pressure.
Uh-huh.
And so we would go out dancing and it was not to find a guy. We could care less if we met somebody. And that's an incredibly powerful position to be in because when you are ready, when you do get to the point where,
Yeah.
my life is good, I don't have anybody else's drama to deal with. I don't, life is good. That's when you'll attract somebody who is in that same energy. And then it
Hmm.
can be truly delightful, but you're on the same wavelength. Nobody's desperate. Desperation is a really off-putting vibe,
Yeah.
right? You don't want to, because you're going to make bad choices when you're desperate,
Yeah.
right? You're not in a good place to be making any kind of a good choice when if you're feeling like you have to have somebody. And this can come up, especially like let's say your ex does have a new person, and then now you're feeling like, oh my God, well, if they're dating somebody, I want somebody too. No, no good ever comes from that space.
Yes. Oh my goodness. It's so true. And for people out there who are going through this, it's fun. I've never been divorced, but I have so many friends who've been divorced, and everything you were mentioning, they've done.
That's
They've
because everybody does it.
they've done the wrong. And then even the best is, oh, don't look at what they're doing on social media. Well, you don't have to, but your friend and Peggy Lou and Nancy are going to be like, oh my gosh, I just saw him. He's with so and so. And did you see he was here? And
Mhm.
it's like you can't close down the communication. It's everywhere, no matter what you do. But it hurts to see those things.
Oh my
Oh,
God, it's so painful. It's
yeah.
so painful to see your ex with a new person. It's so painful to see them having fun that doesn't include you and maybe you are still in the curled up in the fetal position on the couch phase. I was there for a while, right?
Yeah.
And my ex he cheated and he ended up marrying that woman and I just couldn't. I just couldn't.
Yeah.
And so you might have to lay some boundaries down with your friends or family who do feel the need to report back if they're seeing things and just tell them, you know what, that's just so not good for me right now. I just don't want to, please don't. Okay. If you need to look, you can do that, but I don't want to know that stuff right now. I have to protect myself. So please don't. Your real friends will understand that. You might have some people in your circle who are just out for the drama and won't respect that. And then you got to make a decision on who you want to be in your friend circle or not.
Got it. All right. Thank you for that. And what other things should we be doing, not doing? Go for it.
I want so there's the percentage, the statistic that most second marriages, 61% of those end in divorce, right? It's even higher than for first marriages. And you know why that is? It's because people rush back into a relationship too fast without doing the work to look at themselves like, okay, so two people to be in a marriage, it also takes two people in a divorce, whether you want to look at that or not. Now, one person might have done something heinous, like, my ex cheated. I didn't have anything to do with that. But I still had to look at myself and say, okay, so what was missing in our relationship that he felt he had to go outside to get whatever it was that he felt he needed. You have to do some soul searching and really take some time just to, and you don't have to take all the blame, right? But I'll tell you this, until you take a look at yourself and figure out what part did you play and what could you have done differently, you will make those same mistakes second time around. Because
Yeah.
wherever you go, there you are,
Yeah.
right? Just because you have a new partner doesn't mean that the things that you haven't fixed in yourself, they're still there and they're still going to play out. So that's why,
Yeah.
second marriages until unless you do the work, you're going to be more at risk for doing that.
Gosh. Wow. Okay. And then also, let me ask you, some of us have made mistakes, the do's and don'ts, but can we just look ahead for one quick second and realize it'll be okay?
Yeah.
Eventually, these things won't matter. Like time has this way of, how do we describe it? It's just like things will get better. And right? Can I say that?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's true,
I
right?
so time can soften things, but there's some things that time doesn't heal. Like sometimes I think you need time in order to get that work done. Like that doesn't happen overnight. You do need time to pass, but you have to be doing that work in that time. It's not like, oh, 5 years down the road, everything's hunky dory. Now you can ask yourself, will this matter in 5 years? Will this matter will this be so important to me in 1 year, in 5 years, 10 years? If it's not, then that's a thing you can kind of let go a little bit of. So in that sense, time can give you some perspective on what's important, what you need to pay attention to, and what can you maybe let go of. And it is true. I mean, because you're going to be a different person in 5 years. You're going to be in a different place. So it's not going to be the same as it is right now, right? And you hopefully won't have like let's say like in my situation, I literally saw it red. I was so enraged that he cheated on me.
Yeah.
Not a fun place to be. I literally had dreams where I had this woman's head and was cracking it on a concrete floor.
I get it.
So,
Yeah.
I don't feel like that now. So that's a good thing. But I've had to do a lot of letting go of things that were not serving me anymore. Just kind of like, well, God, he's got his own life. I have to focus on me. I think the more you can come back and focus on you, the better. And
Yeah.
that will help you heal things. And you will be in a different place, as time goes by and things will have a different perspective. And they shouldn't hurt as much. When you're right in this, it's just so painful. Um, 5 years, even probably 3 years down the road, you're going to feel much different. You'll be healed and you're going to be loving your life, hopefully, and I can help you do that.
Aw.
Um, yeah, so let's talk about the do's. So
All
let's
right.
say those are your don'ts, but let's talk about you have decided that you're ready to dip your toe back in the dating pool. You're ready, you want to get on with life. Like I said, I used to say don't do that for a while. Like give yourself time to heal. But then um started thinking you can use dating as a testing ground.
Oh.
So maybe don't approach it as I'm ready to find my next life partner, right? That's too intense. That's too much. What if you approach dating like an experiment? Like, I'm going to use this to practice
Mm-hmm.
recognizing green flags, like the things that I like in people, because you're going to meet some really interesting people. You're going to meet some nice people. You're going to meet some not so nice people. But
Yes.
practice I have some stories.
I
They're
so
going
do
in a book.
I. All right, good, good.
But you can practice the green flags. Like these are things I like in a relationship. This is what I like in a partner. This makes me feel good. This is healthy. Also, I want you to practice recognizing the red flags. Okay? Because they're there too. And the next step is when you see a red flag, I want you to practice walking away. Okay, because we don't tend to do that. We give people too many chances. We make excuses for bad behavior. And this will show itself in the dating world. So let's say somebody is late. You have a date for 6 p.m. It's 6:30. They haven't texted, they haven't called anything. Leave. Don't wait for that person. Get up and leave. Okay.
Oh.
If they ghost you, I hate ghosting. I'm like, are we 14-year-old boys that we can't have a conversation and, say, you're a nice person. I just don't think, we're going to work together. I would so much prefer that than somebody just not responding to me. Like if I'm expecting a text or we had, plans and you just don't show up, that's just so rude. People don't like the face-to-face interactions if there's conflict involved, but please be a grown up. Just have the respect and courtesy just to let somebody know that you're not their cup of tea right now. It doesn't mean you're a bad person or anything. It's just, not everybody's for everybody. That's just the way it
Yeah.
is. But please don't ghost. We're not dumb teenagers who can't handle a conversation like that. But
I,
let's say if they're rude at all,
Yeah.
Why are you laughing?
Because I'm 47 and I got ghosted. Are you there?
It feels terrible, doesn't it?
The weirdest thing. It was like two
Yeah.
days
Can
after
you hear me?
Christmas. Yeah, I'm like my kids expecting their Christmas presents. I have his Christmas present. Out of the blue, no response. Then I'm like, okay, are you okay? What's wrong? You know, those text messages start, the calls, hey, is everything
Right.
okay? And then I'm like, wait, this doesn't feel right. Okay, wait, and then wait 2 weeks and send that long text that I'm sure he doesn't read. And ironically, a month later, resurfaces and now wants to meet up with me and talk to me. I just don't know, as a 60-year-old man, how you do
I
that to
hope you told
someone.
him to go.
No, no. I said no. What happened
There,
was I saw his friend out, and I was working one night, and I stopped at the local restaurant, and his friend was there. He's like, "Oh my gosh!" He's like, "I'm so sorry, what happened?" And I'm like, "It's okay." I didn't reach out to you. I know we're friends through him, but I would never. It's immature. I'm not. It's like, no, he's just weird. I said, I figured. I said, but I don't want to discuss that with you. It's great seeing you, and blah blah blah. The day later, of course, he's like, that's
yeah.
when he texted me because I saw his friend. So all of a sudden now, nonstop, hey, when can we get together? When could you get a sitter? And I'm like, and this was like 2 weeks ago. And I said, I will go out with you and speak to you. I just haven't had the time. But like, it's so bizarre. I've never been ghosted. How do they think that's even nice? Like, at least say, I don't like you anymore or whatever. You have a conversation. We're adults. Like.
Well,
Sorry.
that's what I'm saying. Have a conversation. We can handle a conversation. I mean, but anything feels better than them just disappearing. And like you said, because I remember the first time this happened to me. It was like maybe the third guy I dated after my divorce.
Okay.
And I thought he was a nice guy. He seemed to be really into me. All of a sudden, I would send a text and nothing. And like you, I'm like, "Are you okay? Please let me, all I want to know is, are you okay?" Right? And I'm going, because I'm going to start calling hospitals. Please let me know if you're okay. He never, the last text I sent was, I have he had brought like a change of clothes over to my place in case he had to stop over right after
Yeah.
work. I said, I am going to throw your clothes away unless you
Oh, I lost you. Hello, hello, hello.
took him
Oh,
to his house. I knew he was there because his car was in the driveway. I knocked on the door. I saw him run by the window. He wouldn't even answer the door to get his clothes. So I just went poof. I just dropped him on his front porch and I left and that was it. And I'm
oh,
thinking, we're a
that's
grown man.
that is
I saw
pathetic.
you in there.
How
You
pathetic.
can't even answer the door.
Wow. It's like some people have
It
serious
was crazy.
problems. You can't have a conversation. At least thank you so
Yeah.
much for the time for coming and bringing my stuff. I appreciate that. Like
Yeah.
nothing. Ew. And never heard from him again.
No, no, never, never. So I say the appropriate response is if somebody does that, I wouldn't give them another chance because they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing, and I don't have time for that, and I'm not going
Yeah.
to reward that behavior by giving them another chance.
Wow.
I'm just not. I become kind of callous
Callous. Yeah, I'm more
through this
like
process.
I want to hear. It's part of like the saga. Like I'm okay, I'm over it now. It's been like a month and so, and I'm like, okay, fine. But now you're like begging to see me. It's like sweet, like it's like I'm making him wait a little. But I want to find out what his reasoning is. But I do. So we'll see. We'll see if it happens. Follow up next week. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. Just- okay. I can't wait to hear what happens.
Well, thank you,
Because
thank you. All right.
let's see, what else did I want to talk about here? I know we're almost done. Um, but yeah, I think I just want to reiterate that the power to walk away, if they can't show you, I mean, when you're in your best self, right? That's when you're supposed to be all shiny and new and treating people on your best behavior. If you see anything like they're being rude to other people, like wait staff, if they're rude to wait staff, if they are rude to you, if they kind of a disparaging remark or this guy tried to fat shame me for eating a cheeseburger on a first date. I'm like,
What?
are you kidding me? Yeah.
What?
I mean, he's like, oh, you just came from a Pilates class. You're not going to eat that, are you? Like, yes, I am.
Oh my.
But I'm telling you, people will show you who they are, and I'm done making excuses for people. I'm done giving people too many chances. So practice. If you see a red flag, walk away then. Just get good at doing that. You'll save yourself a lot of time and trouble. And and I know that people, traffic can make somebody late, but we have these things called phones. We can text somebody if you're
Hmm.
running a little bit late, or things come up. I get that. But just blatant, some people play games. They want to see, oh, will she wait for me if I'm half an hour late? Let me see if they're games. I don't play games. I don't
Mm.
play games. If you're gonna, deal with me, you have to be authentic because I'm authentic. And
Yeah.
I won't tolerate bad behavior anymore. I used to tolerate it way too often, and it just ended up in pain. So you don't get chances, get a lot of time to have excuses made for you. If you're continually have to making excuses for somebody's behavior, walk away. It's so empowering. That's how they respect who will bend over backwards to take care of them. They don't
Right.
respect that.
Wow.
They will respect you if you say, I don't tolerate this behavior, and you walk away.
Wow. Amazing. Well, thank you for all this insight and so
Yeah.
much more. Unfortunately, we have to go. How can we reach you?
I'm Crown Coaching. You can find me at mydivorcediva.com. My
Perfect.
information's on there. You can email me, you can phone me, and we can get together, and I can help you find your crown.
Great. Thank you so much. Always a pleasure having you. And I'll give you the ghosting update next week. Please remind me. Hopefully, I'll have some answers.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.